Well, hello folks, welcome to episode 21 of this Burnley Beta Save. I am the Custard Prophet, and we have reached the start of the January transfer window. It looks like it might be a pretty eventful window. There's already been stuff going on, and we're going to try and get a few things going on in the other direction. We are still in contention for that 7th spot, so it is still all to play for. That's right, yeah, so we played a bunch of games since we were last together. As you can see on the right here, we played Man United a couple of times, didn't go particularly well there, but we have had some really nice results before that. So let's dive right on in. So when we were last together, we just played Chelsea at home and had the game of two halves where we played really well in the first half, scored a goal, really looked quite dangerous. They scored immediately after our goal and then blew it away in the second half, and I couldn't quite see why we were so bad in the second half but so good in the first half. There were some nice suggestions about maybe not rotating players enough and that sort of thing, so we've tried to take some of those suggestions on board. And here are the results that we've had since that time. So a 0-0 away draw against Norwich. Really not too disappointed with this. Norwich mid-table. It was a game of very few chances. I think we had the best chance of the whole game, which we didn't convert, but it was really very few chances. And then we played the surprise package this year, Villa, who was second at this time. We scored an early goal, looked really good out the blocks, but then just let them back into it, and they beat us 4-1, and it was deserved. We just could not get a chance against them. So we followed that up with a home game against Wolves, who were struggling a little bit. Maitland-Niles was the difference maker here. He's played in a whole host of different roles. So he's a really quite versatile player. I've found. Scored an early goal and then a penalty a little bit later for a 2-1 victory. We looked again really good in this first half, but again, didn't look so good after half time. We're still with the dominant team, but maybe again we need to figure out what to do about that. The real standout result for me was this win over Leicester, where we dominated. We could have won 3-0 here. We were good throughout the game, which was nice. We had an early injury to McNeil, which worried me a little bit. But then Eddie Nketiah came in and he made the difference on that left side. He was quite brilliant. So we got a goal from that, and then he created a bunch of chances. And the only downside was that Delap wasn't able to finish them off. But I was pretty pleased. A 1-0 away win over Leicester, I will absolutely take that. And then bottom of the table, Watford, we were dominant here. We created a bunch of chances throughout this game. Ryan Kent, another goal, and Nketiah was on fire. He kept finding Delap, who kept missing. He had a couple of one-on-one chances with our goalkeeper. We should have absolutely been well ahead of here, so these should have been more points. And then this is probably the best result overall. We had a 3-3 draw away against Arsenal. We were 3-1 down at one point, and Arsenal in the first half looked unplayable. We just could not get near them. The quick passing was too much. We did score a great goal from Longstaff from a Nketiah pass, and then Nketiah scored himself from the left side. A lovely finish. And then they had a player sent off, and we decided to push. And pretty glad we did. Again, coming down that left side, ball in. This time it was from Cornet, I think, as Nketiah had been taken off, and Liam Delap was right where he needed to be to finish it off to get a 3-3 draw. What a away result that was. So at this point we were on a real run, coming into a ton of difficult fixtures. Next one up was home against Liverpool, and to be fair, we held out very nicely for a long period of that game, and in the end it was a Mohamed Salah free kick that we could do next to nothing about. But we did stop them playing too effectively. We really struggled to create chances ourselves, and at this point I was pretty damn pleased going into the game away, the double header away against Manchester United. And we got roundly smashed in both of these matches. 3-0 in the league match. Bruno Fernandes, Ronaldo and Rashford putting out a very, very strong side. Man United did there, or Man UFC, as they like to be called in this game. And then I was kind of hoping, are they going to put a weakened side out in the Carabao Cup quarter-final? The only player that they changed was the goalkeeper. Other than that, it was as strong as it could possibly be. In fact, they brought Pogba in from the game before. So, we were not getting anything out of that game. We tried all sorts of things and just could not make them happen. So, a 6-0 loss there. Yeah, it's disappointing, but you come out of that period with 8 points, not bad. So we've had a lot of issues trying to keep players happy over this period because we've got a reasonably large squad, and as a result we have let a couple of people go. Maxwell Cornet for 6.5 million, just couldn't really get him into the side. Fans aren't happy with it. They felt he was a good option. He was a good option, but I don't know, it felt right. So we've sold him for 6.5 million, and Moussa Silla, who's never really done the business on the right side, never really looked a great player, and has left 7.5 million. So I think we made a bit of a loss there. No, we sold him for pretty much what we got him for. So he played, what's that, 33 games for us, scored 2 goals and 2 assists. That's not good enough for a creative player. So yeah, it's not a terrible loss, I think. We haven't yet bought anyone in, as the transfer window was just opened, but we are looking to get some players in, or at least one player. Finances aren't looking particularly great. As you can see here, we've got 10 million transfer budget, £6 million is our balance. Obviously we're going to get a bunch of money from being in the Premier League and stuff, so it's not too much of a worry to be a little bit in some financial difficulties here, because I think we will do all right. There's going to be more ins and outs over the transfer window, so we're going to come back for the game directly after the transfer window, which is an away game against Tottenham, which might be an interesting one. I think we just lost out against Tottenham in the home fixture, but let's see what we can do in the away fixture. Considering they're not doing great in the league, they're 6th. Well, that's kind of where you'd expect them, but it'd be interesting to see how we do. Either that or come back for the Brentford game. But I do want to play through the transfer window. So you can see we have been knocked out of the Carabao Cup. We've got Carlisle in the FA Cup, so that should be a vaguely straightforward victory. And we've got Newcastle today, but then it's a very favourable period against a lot of teams that we might well be able to get points out of. So fingers crossed, when we come back, we might even be in these positions here, 5th, 6th, 7th positions. Hopefully, fingers crossed, we can manage that. Anyway, folks, let's go into it. Let's try and play Newcastle. Let's see if we can start January as we kind of mean to. We are a few players down, as you see with those players who have gone out. The team we're going to be putting out is this one. Sam Johnston in goal. It's him and Bursic have been out injured for a bit, or ill, so Johnston had a bit of a run. They've both been complaining about a lack of game time, which is interesting. I've never had it where all my goalkeepers are complaining they're not playing enough. It's hard to deal with that because there's nowhere else to put them. Across the back line, I'm going the wrong way here. Taylor, Ariambi, Ragani, and Harad Bellis is going to play on the right side. See how he does there. It's supposed to be a decent right back. Then we're going to go with a double Metzala. See if that works. It might not work with the inside forwards. Looking at it, I'm going to play an advanced playmaker on the one side, and we'll play a box-to-box on the other. So it's midfield 3, Sione, Maitland-Niles and Angerin, who's had a few games. He's just kind of coming in as a make-weight, really. The attacking trio, Nketiah on the left, Kent on the right and Delap up top. Delap's been quite quiet recently, so let's see if he can come up with something. We've got the likes of Brownhill, Barkley and Laird all out injured or suspended. Laird got himself sent off against Manchester United. His first and only game this season, he's got sent off after not very long, so that wasn't ideal. So we know Newcastle is going to be a bit of a challenge. They've got a lot of players here. They're continuing to buy players, but I mean, we'll see how we do. I mean, their team is almost unrecognisable season on season. So if we can put a good performance together here, this should be quite good. We're going to go balanced want to create a few chances, and already it's a highlight, but it's Douglas in the right back position. They're going to be able to fashion a chance out here. I don't think this is going to be an easy one, but Maitland-Niles, I think, is a great player. Into Delap, Sione, to Nketiah, out wide to Taylor, nicely into Nketiah, finds Taylor. What is going on? No goal, and it's a free kick. And Delap was offside there, but a couple of chances there. We could have got a goal there. Maybe you think we should have got a goal there. I don't know. So no more highlights. We are creating some decent chances ourselves. Pretty even game. 6 shots to 5, and we're slightly ahead on the XG, but that's not too bad at the minute. Hopefully we can continue. I'm going to fire them up for the second half. I think I probably should do that after they come out of the dressing room. Let's point finger and say we deserve to win this. It's only Liam Delap who thinks that's maybe the case. We might go a little bit more attacking in the second half, try and force the issue a little bit, but it's a chance for them. Douglas, ball in. We have cleared it. Thoven on the left back position. Can we nick the ball? We've done that quite well. Demiral, look at the side they've got out. Beautiful ball through, and Henry, that's a terrible finish. I didn't even think that was going in. So Johnston, another highlight, into Taylor at left back. Nketiah to Sione. Maitland-Niles plays it forward. It's Kent into Delap. It's in. It's Liam Delap. Absolutely fabulous from the young man. As I say, he's been a bit quiet, but does help when you play a ball like that. Maitland-Niles doing exactly what I need of him. Plays to finds Kent, who wasn't selfish, plays it back for Delap, and those two centre-backs just didn't seem to give a solitary shit, did they? Right, with 60 minutes on the clock, I think we might get rid of Angerin, who's got a yellow card. We've got lots of options in there, and I think Longstaff to me is the one that I'm probably going to want to bring on. And we're also going to bring on McNeil on his return from injury. I think that's a great option as well. Well, I'm not sure if this is a real highlight. We've cleared it. I've been fiddling around with more tactics, or no, I haven't actually. I've been trying to fiddle around with tactics. But the goalkeeper does make a save, and he's held on to that. We've got a bit of a problem, and you can see this across the pitch. A lot of very tired legs, including McNeil, who has picked up yet another injury. I don't think I can take him off, really. I think we're going to have to take... We're going to have to take Kent off, I think. We'll bring Diangana on the right side. A lot of tired-looking legs now. Especially at the back. That's not ideal. So what's Kent going to do here? I think this is just a highlight that doesn't really matter. Oh, it's McNeil. Wow, it does matter. It's 2-0. The two players who will be coming off... McNeil isn't going to come off. We're going to keep him on. But even with his thigh injury, we do find a beautiful cross from Kent. Just didn't look a single thing on here, but plays a cracking ball, and it's this guy here should have just cleared it. Romaro should have just cleared it, shouldn't he? He didn't, and it means we have taken a 2-0 lead. It's great. A second half goal, a rare thing for us. 2-0. Herwood Bellis now. Oh, it's into Delap. And Delap doesn't get a finish, but another chance for us. And it's good to see us really creating some good chances. I like this. McNeil throws the ball in, but not fast enough, and Eze gets onto it. Another player I would dearly like to sign, but I can't afford all these players. So you can see we're all looking knackered, but we have managed to pick up the win. You can see we're 2-0 victors there. In the end, they probably had more shots, but when it came down to highlights, we had the good highlights. Delap with a cracking game. McNeil came in, scored a goal. That's what we like to see. Kent did well on the other side. Good defensive performance as well. And Johnston does well in goal. So overall, I think a 2-0 victory there is not a bad one at all. Got to say I'm pleased with that. And we move on to the next match. And hopefully we can take this the positive energy from this game into what, as I said earlier, looks a really potentially lucrative run of fixtures that we could hopefully get some serious points from. Yeah, we executed the game plan to perfection, lads. So that win pushes us up to 1 point shy of Arsenal, who've got a better goal difference from us. I mean, obviously our goal difference is dreadful, but we are right there still. We are right there. Injury from McNeil, but it's only 1 to 3 days, so it was the right decision to keep him on. He needs those extra minutes on the pitch. And we're going to be playing Crystal Palace away from home next up. We've got the likes of Carlisle, Brighton and West Ham, none of whom are doing particularly well, and Southampton. And then we'll be playing Tottenham, who are 6th. So that game could potentially be important. At that time, we may well be battling with Tottenham for a place where we're only 3 points behind them. So it's really they are within range, which is excellent and really exciting. Anyway, folks, I hope you've enjoyed the return. Apologies for missing a couple of episodes earlier in the week. Couldn't do much about that. I lost my recording space for the Christmas period, so I couldn't actually record anything. But we're back. We're back with Burnley, and as you can see, we're back with a Burnley team who in 2024 are currently on 100% record. That's not going to last, I know, but it may well... It potentially could still be there, and if it come Tottenham, and if it is, I think we'll be doing very, very well. Obviously we're going to lose games, but yeah, I'm internally optimistic. Anyway, folks, if you enjoyed this, please hit that like button, please subscribe if you are new. I'll see you for the next one. I hope you had a very happy Christmas, and I wish you the best of New Year's, although we will be coming back to Burnley before the New Year anyway. So I'll see you then. Goodbye.